hearing? Good? All right, awesome. Rocky, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right, so we're going to set the stage. How many people have heard of AGI House? Okay, so let's give them some background, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, AGI House is it's an organization right now.
Yes.
It's a 20,000 square foot hacker house.
We do have a physical location, but I don't think that's the key.
Okay, that's not the key. It has been highlighted in Business Insider, also New York Times, and they say that AI achievements will come from this house in Hillsborough. So it's the hotbed of Silicon Valley today. The mission, AGI House, is a community of AI founders and researchers that aim to facilitate humanity's transition to AGI. And so I went to AGI House this weekend, and there was you're redefining the G in GUI. What was that hackathon?
It's not UI UX actually, because at AGI House, basically we do have a group of people live there, but mostly it's the people who we're inviting through those events like hackathons. We have a fundamental thesis that this foundation model is going to be it's going to rebuild the whole digital infrastructure for humanity. So we have a chance to reimagine what the society would build around it. So last weekend is something, the topic that we're going to tinkering around at the AGI House for quite a while. It's like with the development of the foundation model, what will be the user interface in the future? How we interact with our applications? Is it applications like the experience, the agents, or what are those things? That's basically what the hack's all about.
Yes. By the way, it's the most beautiful hacker house I've ever seen in my life. This is a beautiful space. Very fortunate to go and check it out. Just to kind of keep building on Marianne's list, Eric Schmidt, Sergey Brin, Chainsmokers, the CEO of Google X, Asher Teller, DeepMind, Tome, Perplexity, Vercel, the co-founder of Sun Microsystems, Andy Rich Miner, co-founder of Android, Greg Yang, X.AI, Grimes, other Grammy Award winners, True Arrow, Weights and Biases, LangChain, Pinecone, Lomadex, and that was just since the summer. Pretty impressive. So there's something special happening there to gravitate and have that gravity of such talent and mind share.
Yeah, I mean, on the back, another side of the story. When I started, we have a group of us have this idea that we really, because we are at the core of this innovation, because for some reason, I don't know, because Andre Capacci, he's one of the founding member of OpenAI, also working with Elon Musk to direct the self-driving. So the practitioners are really behind the technology and see how we're going to bring the best people that we respect, and the group of us is one of the motivation and the inspiration, and then that's why you see a lot of names.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. That was just like the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So you're pretty active.
Yeah, we do. Actually, right now it's more like, before we design a lot of things, and now it's a lot of outreach because people want to work with us on those events, and then we design the service of programming. Like I mentioned in the beginning, there are actually two sides of the story. One is really, we want to be part of this, like really help push this technology forward. And the second part is we really see there's a gap between the technology, the advancement of technology, and the real world, the rest of the world. That's where we play the role here. Bring all the developers like you guys really in the house with the people who really building the technology, and then together imagine how do we bring this technology to the rest of the world. That equals, I wouldn't say equals to, like inspires people to building really transformational companies. Actually, if you see only the last few months at AGI House, we've seen so many, actually, not to mention those companies coming from the house that people residents live there. You see the code-frame, basically trying to reimagine the UI UX using generative AI, and there's a concept of just-in-time UI as you sort of go through the UI moves around you, and as compute getting more cheaper, I think that's something very interesting that we can explore. If you see that. Yeah, and a company like a Pika, I think Peter mentioned that there's a lot of innovation in the video space, and one of the company really is only 4-person team. They only for 6 months based on the model performance, I think they beat the unicorn company the wrong way. As it's only a few months, and they are making tremendous progress at AGI House. And you will see a lot of other companies like that are coming out of the events.
So Co-Frame, People Labs, are those some of the ones that are you incubating today?
From the house. Another company is actually is also related to Google, called Sage Labs. Sebastian Strom, he's the co-founder. He's a student, Brad Krupa lives in the house, and then he just started the company with us. We help him host hack. Actually hired five like early employees.
Gotcha. And just to double click on around the world and the importance of in-person engagement, we also have folks fly in from Korea and Norway. Is this typical?
Yeah, that's the happened last weekend. Now we do see people really fly from, like last Saturday, from Canada, Norway, and Korea to come for the events, and really see there's really a gap between the world. From that part of the world they really want to see, they want to spend all the effort to, and we're really happy to be part of that and facilitate that.
Yeah. And besides hackathons, what are the other types of events that you help facilitate and engage?
Yeah, so unlike other, event hosting, we are entrepreneurs. We are actually, from my background, I was an entrepreneur last 10 years working on AI startups, solar companies, doing investment. So we are not like just hosting another hackathon or hosting another dinner or something. We design the events for the purpose. For example, if we want to invite Peter there, how do we get the best out of him and then inspire the people, and then maybe there's something, ideas coming out of it, or maybe some actions come out of it. So that's something we're trying to, actually we're building tools. That's the most exciting things. We're building the AI tools, we eat our dog food, because that's what we talk about every day. We're building the tools to really enable, power the community. Let's see, each of you here, we would have some kind of agents knows so much about you, because we're trying to digitalize the real life. For example, you come to our events, come to hackathons, you code, we know your code, we have the data, what skill set you build, we know your skill set. Those are real information, and then we'll be able to find the right person, either as idea or other serendipity. We're trying to use like the AI to re-engineer serendipity, and then hopefully this will be very powerful to really facilitate that your company building or other career advance kind of opportunities. So that's something we're really experimenting on. It sounds very exciting.
Yeah, thank you for that one. What I wanted to do is kind of inspire some of these developers here to think about what does it look like to build a community. And with that, I would probably want to let's go back into a time machine and tell me where did this start?
I think it will start with a few friends, of course. So it's like that's always. I think when I talk about community, I think people that's the key, the core essential things. I've been very fortunate, very lucky over the last decades that I've seen Silicon Valley get to hang out and be inspired. All my friends surround me, and I think during the pandemic, everyone's on their journey. So I was start out for more than 10 years and say, what do I do next? And we do have a few friends trip. Actually, there's a period of time people go to Miami. I happen to be one of those people with a few friends, and then there's other Basel, and then we just hang out, and then they all running the unicorn AI companies as our founders, and then we say, what's our goal? And doing all the AI stuff, and everyone's like, okay, maybe of course make the business successful, making money for sure. But what's after that? You're starting to search for the meaning, of course, and then the answer comes to okay, let's build AGI together. So that's like the initial spark, and how we do it, because we know there's like there's different ways. There's OpenAI, they got the smart people and got all the social resources and money resources to do those, like Google to push those things. But there's another way we are thinking about it could be really helpful. Like that's the idea of like bringing the real world problems and the minds that are imagining that working the solutions for the AGI.
Gotcha. And then so there's a pretty tight ship you run in regards to a hackathon. You have the lightning talks, and then you have everyone kind of go out. It's a one-day event, right? Yeah. And I think that's critical because I've run multi-day weekend hackathons, and it's tough. It's very hard. Where did you learn how to were you in hackathons yourself? Where was your first hackathon? Talk about how you formulated this structure, this tight ship.
Yeah, so it started with like this is very organic. I mean, I didn't expect it blow up this way. I mean, basically, when we started working on this, it's only a few friends like from OpenAI, the researcher. Oh, let's come hacking on some new features. Like GPT-3, like DALL-E, when they first come out, we have the John Schumann, all the co-founders of OpenAI come over hang out. Like, okay, let's build something around it because they are very skilled people. We don't need 2 days or to do something. Like a few hours, you can build some prototypes together. And then that's like the evolution with the structure. And then we said, okay, we're going to bring this a little formula way to how we build towards like think of problems and really imagine solutions. So we started open to like the founders already work on a problem for a while and then bring them in. You don't necessarily really do everything on the spot. You can prepare because right now, actually, all our sponsors coming from different infrastructure companies. Let's say Together, the week before is like Together AI, Race and Bias, and LandChain. Those people, those are infrastructure companies. The founders will give a talk, and before that, we will have prepare all the documents for like tutorials for people to build on the framework. And then when they come here, focus on the main like ideas.
Gotcha. And then just to kind of go back to the friends part of the community, you mentioned, was this spark that Brian was this inspiration?
It do has something to do with Burning Man. For this career, I do go to Burning Man for last since 2014 every year.
Wow.
So there's a thing called among us called how to explore human potential. Actually, that's to do how we organize the events, the structure. We want to create an environment, really letting people to really like engineering serendipity or like bring the best out of you. I think that's something there's so many programs. They tell you what to do, this and that. That's why we create this environment. Let's say we bring together, like we don't tell him what to do. I mean, you don't tell him what to do. So he will be there, and there are people that are very like aspirational, like the have raw talent. Mm-hmm. And then when you create the right environment, I think that's a spark.
To keep going on that, besides the sponsors and some of the helpers, what else is powering this machine right now? What's really pushing this?
Of course, the passion and then the community itself. When you build the core culture, core foundation, I think it's like a machine runs itself. And of course, we're building the tools, the AI tools to power. The ultimate goal is hopefully we will have some part of the AI to power the community. Not just the AGI House, I think it will be a lot of part of our social life. Then we really see some spark of LM-powered social. I don't know whether you guys have imagined thinking through that potential. Right now we have like a Facebook. It's very profile-based kind of social. And a lot of other things that will be more tailored to your personal, the inner things that will get out of it. So that's something very exciting to experiment ourselves with some product we're building actually internally.
Cool. Do you have an idea of how many startups have been built so far in the past year that's come out of there?
So every week or for the last few months we have so every time we have 100 people. For the hackathon we have 150 people. They would normally have 25 teams.
Okay.
25 teams for a presentation. Sometimes they have 40. And if you do the calculation, that's about 30 of them become like a really serious founders because we check the background and then they will have a website, they have founders, they have VCs back then. So that's a good number. And we're expecting, and also like you mentioned, a lot of our events, actually private events. Then we have, for example, tonight we have like 24 founders, all sponsored by VCs or companies that we can talk about generative AI and the consumer applications. So it's like 24 founders work on different domains. We'll have discussion. We'll talk about what's the framework, how to think about the idea, how to think about the consumer application right now, because there's something called MVP, but in the generative AI space, because of model limitation, there's most viable, the viable quality of the model to build an experience that the user can use. So we will discuss all those things and through different verticals. So that's what we do almost every week, every other week as well. So those are real founders, like some founded by the VC firms. Yeah.
I would say that this weekend was the first hackathon where I just casually ran into like 2 VCs.
Yeah.
So that's pretty typical. This is.
It's very typical. We're trying to actually not because we want to preserve the environment, right? It's a hacker building environment, and then when we are ready to talk to them, I'm not trying to be the middleman, but we have a process.
Yeah. No, they were there independently. They were like, no, I'm scouting. And they were like, what are you working on? And I was like, oh.
Definitely, we're founding. A lot of founders are very talented. We see a lot of them. Yeah.
And just to kind of like ballpark on this venture side, what would you say is ballpark range on the amount of money raised from these events out of these startups?
So I think it's safe to say hundreds of millions because some companies raise if you see, actually Dave was here, Montreal, the founder, he launched the company at our first hackathon last year, the LandChain hackathon. I think he raised 4 or 5 million after that. And then recently a company called Martian, it's a model router, help you find the right model, it's the model for application. They raised 9 million from the EA, and then there's a company Factory that raised 5 million from Sequoia, Lux Capital. We have our own a co-friend, they took 9 million from Coastal Ventures. So it's very safe to say it's hundreds of millions. Yeah.
Wow. Out of the events, how many events have you think you've posted so far?
We do have an exact number, but you can look at it right now. It's almost every week we have one hackathon. Yeah. So that's a bigger events and a lot of smaller events like the private dinner. So this week we have 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you will say at least one, if you average out, at least 1 or 2 events a week.
Gotcha. Wow. How many founders are in the house? Okay. Cool. Just taking polls. All right. Event organizers, a meetup. Okay. Cool. Researchers. All right. Okay. Cool. So, out of all the events, what was your most memorable event?
Well, when Sergey was there, it was definitely. Actually, every event is different. Like I mentioned, it's we design it for different purpose. So everyone, most of the time, we do got inspired, and then a lot of people, they say that they changed the trajectory of their life, their start of a career. I think that's makes me you're thinking that's memorable.
Gotcha. And then, looking forward, what does this year look like, and what's next?
Yeah, so I think the thing that was really excited about is the technology side of things because we are how is technologists, how this power really the community, the humanities, how they really we are starting to see the interaction. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you think you're going to experiment? We talked a little bit about experiments. Can you share some of the experiments that you're thinking about running?
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned, we definitely wanted to understand more about the dynamics of digitizing social life. And I don't know if you guys read the paper, General Agent, from the Stanford researchers, John. So basically, they have experiment each one simulating a personal agent for each person, and then using the AI to simulate their life. And I think we have a lot of that. What are we doing as tools we're building? We have a lot of interest in experiment on that, and also. And as an organization, we have the mission. We want to really helping people building companies, solving problems, bring that technology to the rest of the world. So that's the part we're trying to be more structurized way of thinking. You guys know a company like a YC, Y Combinator, right? We're trying to see is there how much technology can apply to this. There's a lot of art of course building companies. We know that so many things go through it, but at the same time, how much tech, the science is behind it. So that's something we're trying to push towards. Yeah.
Do you see AGI House expanding to other countries?
The way how we look at it right now, actually is working on it. It's we have partners from different places. We reach out, of course, and then through partners through certain vehicle, we have a fund do, and then it become LP. In Europe, we definitely want to do more in Europe and New York. Yeah.
Okay. So the term AGI is pretty contentious. It's definitely a conversation. There's some talk about it actually happening this year, or some form of it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I'm with Peter on that at the beginning, but like I mentioned, if you look at the interview with Ilya, he's like, when you compress this massive amount of data, it's not like a different module you'll be able to comprehend what it holds the information. There might be some conscious with it when you like compress the internet scale data even more. So that's I think what's exciting. Yeah, maybe some form of intelligence already there, but we don't know yet.
Do you think AGI will come out of AGI House?
Definitely, that's our hope. We do have a room called AGI room. I know it's a cliche, but I still remember the days. So I do know the story of OpenAI very well. So Greg Bookman, we know each other. We went to Burning Man back in 2015. So right after we come back, we were at his apartment to that's when they just started OpenAI. They watched the movie Ex Machina. You probably know that movie. And trying to imagine what's the AI would look like, what do we want to build, kind of thing. So basically from their approach, it's like they have this idealism that they want to build. That's why we see the gap between the real world. They don't start with a problem, actually. Well, maybe that's a problem, but like not a real world problem. That's all. They try to build a general intelligence.
Gotcha. And so the folks there who go to AGI House, very ambitious, very futuristic, looking forward, trying to push it to its limits. Is there conversations about, well, how do we build this? How do we control this? How do we is there a precursor to safety?
Absolutely, we do have like the early days. We were actually at the beginning of the year how to put a guardrail on this like the foundation model. But I think our thesis right now is like given what we have today, I think we are a little far. I would say far away. We still needed to fully accelerate in the development before we reach that, but in a precautious way, definitely. Yeah, we definitely need a caution.
Do you think there would be worth to, or have you already done a hackathon that's focused on the safety?
Actually, we do. So one very interesting project coming up is elections coming up this year, and the winner of the election actually trying to, because of the false information from general election from language models, how to verify, check the facts.
Fact checking, gotcha. And then beyond AGI House, there's also AGI Ventures.
Yes.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about. It's new.
That's a new.
Or
Yeah.
did I delete the cat of that?
It was soon, but because we like to do things like experiment first before we really announce anything. So we definitely are experimenting. We're building. We have quite a few. Because that's a measure, because it needs time. Like when you see a company, we definitely want to find the next Google, but Google takes like 10 years or more than to really show the world this is Google, right? So, but we're not just saying like all the companies that we experiment right now, the metric is they raise a lot of money from VCs, but I don't know whether that's the right metric. So we're definitely experimenting a lot how to measure the impact, measure the success. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then for these events, is it always focused around software? Is there hardware components to it?
We do so. I think the good thing about us and other the people who want to, let's say VCs, other VCs want to do things, we really at the center of technology. We play around. We are technology ourselves. So we do so excited about the hardware development component. But I think we want to do that the way that we see there's opportunity coming up and foster that direction. So we do have works like how do you put LLMs into the robotics kind of things. With some events, some activities we are designing, and then for bio and healthcare, we have VCs that are our potential partners that are trying to get the state of the art technology together, and then host a series of events trying to bring the people together. Yeah.
Maybe we can get Elon to give us the Optimus to hack on.
Sure. He actually went to one of our portfolio companies' events. Yeah.
Excellent. So, so AGI Ventures right now is just starting out, looking at prospecting, and you're in the wheelhouse of the hotbed, and it makes sense for you to get that deal flow. What are the other partner plays besides VCs? Like, what are the other partner plays that you see that could benefit from this type of environment?
So I think the big part of it, actually, my business partner went to Davos this year, last week. So we host events there. Basically, we have a few of our companies, partner companies like Waste and Bias and Writer. Writer. It's like basically, right now you're building an LLM application. You need like a vector database. You need a LangChain. They make it very easy. Like, of course, they sacrifice a lot of the flexibility. But right now, we are at the stage for those Fortune 500 companies and those traditional industry, they haven't got a chance to get a taste of what this can do to them. I think that's something so exciting that I think one part of the mission is like we'll probably see all those mainstream like Fortune 500 executives at our events throughout the year. Throughout the year. So we'll see more of those. Yeah, and then there's like AI talents like you guys here building companies or developers can solve those like real problems. Yeah.
Has any CVCs, corporate venture capital, have they, that incubator hub, the venture arms of these big corporate 500s, have they engaged you?
Yeah, absolutely. We right now we spend a lot of time with all the fundamental, the infrastructure companies like NVIDIA, the companies they come over, and of course we have Rich Miner. I think he's the founder of Google Ventures here. Right? He's actually a partner and very close friends of us. But now I think we're going to see the real, like the different sectors of the industry.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then if someone in this crowd wanted to try to make it into the AGI House, because it's not easy to get in, right? It's not easy. How can one take a step to aspire to get in there and to be among the elite to help build one of the,
Absolutely. Actually, if you see all the event design, most of the events are private, so it's invitation only. So you have done something we respect. Because we're doing all the things ourselves. So if we respect it, we invite you. You don't need to. We would try really hard to get you in if we remind you. So I will see a lot of examples of those things. Yeah. For early days, for example, I will write the professor at Stanford, like, okay, this is something I'm working on. I like your student's paper. Can you get in here at this date?
Yeah.
I would personally ask people, if I don't know, I'll ask the student, ask the advisor, to do all those things.
So it's a little bit of referral. And,
So, but now we have this like hackathons. Basically, it's like a open network. Basically, we want to explore the raw talent. So basically, that's an opportunity for us to really know the raw talent and bring them in. We spend a day together and got to know you more, and then we invite, and then after that we invite you to those private personal kind of connections. Yeah.
If one wanted to start their own AGI House, but not the official, because there's only one official AGI House, right? Not one of that. Just to clear that. Or just to start this kind of incubation among their community and try to get going, what would be a recommendation?
I think it focuses on the people and the mission. I think that's like we started. It's a very organic way. Actually, we didn't plan this far, but we know this is something we want to be associated with those people. We want to work on this together. And then if this is the right mission, it's like you find a product market fit, right? I think if you see people joining towards has that gravitation, when you feel about it, I think that's a time you think, okay, this is something on your track. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what I wanted to do is, because this is kind of a focus on community and connecting and beyond hackathons, because I think that's what challenges us to push this innovation, but I wanted to open the floor for others to engage on this conversation. We have a mic right here. Marianne has a mic. If you could raise your hand if you have any questions about it, if this is your first time hearing about it. We got one right here.
Hi, it's very interesting. I was looking at the website of AGI House. Do you have a definitive list of upcoming hackathons and some more information about what it means to get in?
Yes, that's something we are still under the works. It happens that way is we want because a lot of times it's very fluid because the events we design based on a lot of factors. And because of the certain, for example, generally we're focusing on LLMs. So we start with like a fine tuning and RAG. So that's the first hackathon. And second, we want to see if people build applications, what's the UI UX like. So that's the last week. And this week is going to be lower level data applications. So we have a series of things that's planned. But sometimes like there's a new model come out, right? Let's say the Gemini comes out, like multimodal. We have people want to try it, so we might preemptively plan those events. So it's like normally if we would put it out probably 2 weeks in advance on our website, Twitter and Instagram. We have our social account. Yeah.
Hi Rocky, my name is Doran, and this is so great information, and what you do is so exciting. So the question, 2 questions. Do you have any directions of hackathons on space tech? I saw that you have Galaxy hackathon, something like that. And second is just software engineers can participate, or people with background like in IT and business and product development also can participate?
Yes. So to your question is like space. We don't emphasize space particularly, but there's a lot of potential opportunities in the space like AR, VR, and AI. How they do remote operations or those kind of technology could be applied to, because our still a very focused place in AI. That's why we call it AGI House. A lot of events centered around that. How we push that technology and application forward. So I think your second question is what's the second question?
Can people with background in product development, business
Oh
development?
yes. Actually, we are slowly because last year a lot of the things we are doing is like the foundation model and infrastructures. So we're very focused on really people like the builders. So this, as we go, the technology matures, like the framework, the tools, we can build the product ideas. So that's the part we will starting to bring in the product people and the builders together.
So we'll have some H100s at AGI House.
Well, I don't know what's in the AGI House, but we do. A good story is one of our partners. We because of connection, we really met up with Jason Huang, and we signed a big deal. Okay. Not like Google. I know Google has the TPUs like organ negative. The most fanciest thing. So that's not comparable.
Gotcha.
Hi, I'm Shri. Friends away. How do you help the AGI House for younger kids, like high schoolers or who are still in the college? And also the second question is, do you have a plan for collaboration with forms like IEEE or ASEAN, local or national chapters, and volunteering hours?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely see some of the things that you mentioned is actually organic that happens. People reaching out, but for us, I think we have very limited resource. We also like a startup, right? Like it's like a year old. We definitely focus on what we like the mission, the intention we set to. But at the same time, focus on at the same time making social impact. Definitely something at the heart of our what we do. I think that for the younger generation, when I grew up in Noel in the middle of China, like the countryside we never heard of. And the thing that drives me out is like the curiosity and all these amazing things and possibilities. I think by showing all the examples and the content, and I hope that way will impact, make people believe in younger people believing this is impossible. I think that will be the value. Yeah.
What's the typical age of your attendees today?
It varies. I think from those like that we have a lot of like Stanford, Berkeley students, like PhD student undergrad. They are like seniors, and also like the Googlers from DeepMind, like that, or people already building companies like for many years. So it's like a variety of.
Right.
Like it's just like a raw talent. Also, people accomplish the people.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other question? Any woman has any question in the audience for them? Come on, I want to hear from you ladies. All right. Okay, last question. What is your question?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's right
okay.
there. Oh, he has a question. He's right.
That's okay. I have good lungs. I don't need to speak.
Okay.
So, I hear a lot about social impact. Is there a special interest group that focuses that as their core, and all the ramifications and opportunities for intentional drive? And we have an opportunity. I've never seen so many excited speakers. There's such a diversity in the crowd.
Amazing. So if you follow our event, actually one of the organization called Benevolent AI. So basically they are focusing on social impact. They host their initial design thinking at AGI House. So we collaborate because of resource. We don't do it ourselves. We collaborate with those groups and help embrace, bring the people together, help them through the process. So for them, they have the companies who try to solve I remember using AI to solve the Amazon, like the forest, and it's already making big impact. I think the company is also pretty big right now. And then that's another, actually yesterday I have a call with, you guys probably know the Wired magazine, the founder, Patrick McGowan, the foundation, his son. Actually, we are talking because they have the foundation trying to do the social good initiatives. We are actually actively engaging in those conversations. Yeah.
Great.
Has there been any healthcare focus?
That's something we're on the works. Yeah. We do people hosting like big events. Then people who come to our hackathons and the events, they are actually helping out in those initiatives.
Very cool. We have Sako and then Kyle.
Hey, look, are there any tools you would recommend for run community you enjoyed and helped you? Thank you.
Right now we're still fragmented. Like I said, we are building something very cool. we'll use ourselves personally first, and then see whether this will productize in our own dog field. Yeah. I mean, we use a lot of things, the party for rumor or the events by different kind of things, and then to like Google Excel sheet.
So have you seen any interest from the defense sector in the AGI House?
Yes. we are not actively promoting anything like that. But there's a firm, Andreessen, they have got an American Dynamism. That's some initialism. They're working with Andrew, a company that makes drone attack, air drones, and with campers, we do try to facilitate, but we are not actively engaged in those things. Yeah.
Cool. Then, let's see, do we have any other questions? Open forum. Nothing? No?
All right, well.
Well, wait, I got to get some plugs and maybe some collaboration. I heard collaboration. Maybe we could potentially do a GDG AGI House collaboration.
Absolutely. One thing actually right now, there's a big part of, speaking of the hardware, that's already a lot of people in the community because they are working on the robotics and I think that Google has a lot of advancement on those like models. We're trying to see whether there's like an API, like I don't know, pump to, maybe they integrate to Gemini, I don't know the latest, but like could be potential model provider for us. Because the idea is like, there's a lot of interest in the group that they want to bring the language models to the hardware.
Okay, yeah, we'll work on that, right?
Yeah, and also the multimodal things like Gemini, whenever it's available, we'll love to the API to play around with it.
And Karina, you heard that one. We're going to be getting some access to APIs and collaboration. Awesome. That's excellent. So any final words? So just to let you know that there was one of the first hackathons in the U.S. was called Super Happy Dev House, and it was a very niche thing that nobody ever knew about. I did a documentary on it. It's interesting, and I always thought like what if it actually got out and broadcasted, like what's happening at that time? And that was a missed opportunity. I think right now, just getting the word out and letting more folks know, besides in Business Insider, New York Times, but to our local community about what's happening locally. And I thought it was really important to have you up and speak your story and get the word out. Because you're an operator and facilitator, but I want you to speak your piece and your story. So thank you very much, Rocky. Do you have anything else that you want to share with the crowd?
I mean, I guess you heard a lot from a lot of people. I guess I just repeat it. Just this is really, I mean, we live our life until so far, no matter how old are you. This is really, I never see something in humanity, in human history. You have a chance to redesign, to be part of this, and that will change the trajectory of how human evolutions for the last centuries or 1,000 years. Because we are the clips, right? So many things can be so different, and you'll be part of it. And you might be the person who actively live those things. So that's what keeps me up every day. Yeah.
Excellent.
I hope you guys also will be part of this. Yeah.
Well, again, Rocky, thank you so much. Give it up for Rocky, guys.